Get in, nerds. We are playing Victoria 3. I just realized something really dumb that I did, which is I didn't research steel frame construction, which we desperately need. So I'm going to queue that in immediately, and then we're going to queue in electrical generation and vulcanization after that. And this is really going to help us with our overall construction situation. Let's go ahead and get the game unpaused here. We're doing some work over here in Dahomey, trying to win a war over there. This war is, I don't think, really losable in a meaningful way at this point. Let's see, our enemies are mostly using, they are using skirmish infantry. Alright, well, decent, but we will be able to beat them with our trench infantry, which we do have access to. Waldeck. I feel like that's not a country that I hear a lot about. Wild. Not that it matters for our purposes. Oil discovered in Alxa. Interesting. Heh. We're going to try to get IT into their power block, but it failed. That's very funny. Great Britain has once again surpassed us in prestige, and I'm pretty salty about it, to be honest. Pretty salty indeed. Sorry, I had to turn my sound off to cough there for a second. Alright, so let's take a look. 104 for Bosnia-Herzegovina. That's nice. Oil and Cherniv. So now that Dahomey is basically completely secure, or it's getting to be completely secure. Let's just turn up the game speed a bit. Get us one more battle done. Alright, that's full occupation. Oh, it's not full occupation, but we're getting there. There we go. Easy peasy. And do the eyes have it? Not quite yet. Still getting that northeastern corner sorted. France is going after Oyo. Not a shock. Maybe we should do some conquests in Africa as well. Just seeing as there seems to be some kind of a trend going on. Perfect. Alright, Dahomey, have you got a port? It's under construction. And we can't build ports in foreign states. Well, you'll have one soon. Trust me. Alright, so let's get ourselves going here. I think we should start grabbing these small countries. So, Futa Toro we can take all in one go. They have virtually none of an army. Futa Toro we can take in 2. So let's see. 4.4 infantry to grab Futa Toro. And 3.6 for Futa Toro Mauritania. Alright, we'll just get both then. And then Kaarta is going to be all in one. So, Conquer state they might accept, which would give us a path to Kaarta. So I'm actually only going to do that one. Did I not queue in... Yes, the government admins are here. So this is going to be solved pretty shortly. I'm going to go ahead and demand that state. 13% chance they say yes. If they don't, not a tragedy. They did not. We'll just go ahead and mobilize this army, and as long as it's over here, we'll just put them over there. And as an added incentive, I'll throw in a war goal on Futa Toro as well. And what that'll do is that'll allow them to stay alive if they... That'll allow them to this country to continue to exist if they say yes. At least for now. Oyo officers... I'm friends with the French. Oyo, no. I got ambitions, but Great Britain sides with Oyo. Interesting. What if I sided with France? Let me see. How... France is no... Oh, wow. France is really high in infamy. But I could still support them. I could still support them. My economy has never been stronger. I could get cash. I could get transfer subjects for all kinds of war goals. Transfer the Dutch East Indies. Oh, from... Yes, because the Dutch are part of this thing. Interesting. Well, there are a lot of interesting options here, but I think I'll just let that stuff be. I'll do my own conquests in Africa for the moment. It'll be nice to be able to shoot at the British, though. Let me see. Both sides are uncertain here. This is just a ban slavery. Oh, boy. Uh-oh. We got a red scare, friends. The rise of the communist regime in Italy has spurred a sense of terror and mistrust across Russian society. Many fear that Russia will be the next to fall to communism. Every newspaper on the stand there bore a title more extreme than the last. Shrill newsboys hawked them on corners, sending competing claims of atrocity and terror across the streets. Assassins and madmen claim power in Italy, cried one of them. Recovered Red Bible reveals agenda of world revolutionists, shouts another. And amidst all of them marched 10,000 wide-open ears, soaking up each sensational word as they hurried along to their stations. It could happen here! 2% of upper stardom pops become more loyalist, though trade unions become much weaker and angrier. Or a panic would be wholly unwarranted, everybody mad. 2% of lower stardom pops more loyalist. You know I'm going with that first one. So let's see what type of communism is going on in Italy. Okay, alright, that's a real communist flag. Alright, let's see what's going on here. Oh man, they are an oligarchic council republic with a traditionalist economic system, a state religion, national supremacy for their citizenship laws, now homesteading and land reform. They're passing wage subsidies. This is wild. A communist government of the petite bourgeoisie, the rural folk, and the trade unions. That is absolutely wild. Huh. A vanguard state. Well, that's somewhat shocking. Our relations are cordial, but I expect they won't stay so for long with Italy doing a big communism. And Britain's in a war on the Ionians, which doesn't feel like really that much of a big deal for me personally either. Alright, do I want to get involved in this whole Oyo Benin situation? Both sides are uncertain. France doesn't stand to... Well, hold on. Actually, let's... Britain wants to take Tahiti. The Netherlands want a treaty port in Ghana. This isn't much. This doesn't seem worth Russian involvement. Nativist discontent. Nativists within the ranks of the rural folk have issued statements declaring North Italian people in Russia to be communist infiltrators. This rhetoric has already led to crimes against North Italian people. They were innocent. All 6 of them were acquitted, or at least half of them were before they heard cries of a mistrial. Now miscarriage of justice by vigilante hands would kill them here. If they weren't shot in their cells, they were dragged out by the neck and hung before being shot, executed for the crime of being North Italian by birth. And the country would thank the crowd for it. What is there to be done? -3 standard of living for North Italian people in Dalmatia. Oh, that's very bad. Or halt this behavior before it spreads. Rural folk pops become more radical. You know I gotta go with the second one. -3 standard of living, again, is very, very bad. What is the population of Dalmatia like? Dalmatia is 40% Croatian, 40% Korean, and 20% Ukrainian, about 4% North Italian, and 23 Serbs. You know, I don't know how to interpret this giant Korean population, but, you know, it's a free country. or you're free to go wherever you want. I don't know about the other stuff, but you're free to emigrate wherever you wish. Alright, so we're at 132 leverage here. Let me see, we went up by 1. And are we still going up? We're still going up by a little bit. It's slow, though. We need to build a little bit more in Bosnia and Herzegovina before we can get them properly in. Now, what about Serbia? Serbia's still kind of down bad. I think Austria's improving relations again. I'm going to start bankrolling Serbia. I got to do something about this situation, because this is a whole headache, really. Alright. Spain's lost its rivalries because it's now a great power. It's got to rival larger powers. Alright, no one has chosen to stop us, and Futa Toro has chosen to fight, which means we're going to win this war easy peasy. I think next we're going to go to Futa Toro, and then Kaarta afterward. I think they've decided to just kind of let it be. Alright. Easy peasy. So that's interesting. I guess countries now automatically capitulate if they're fully occupied. So, what does it take to take Kaarta? 7.4 infamy. We're at 13.9 compared to Futa Toro. There's 10.4. So that's interesting. Kaarta does give us a path to Segou and Messina, which are good targets, as well as Kabu. So I think I'm going to go after Kaarta and grab Futa Toro kind of opportunistically. I don't think anyone's going to stop us over here. And we will go ahead and mobilize the 4th Corps and put them in the area once again. This will be fine. This will pop off without a hitch. Sigismundo Ruggiero has been exiled by the Ottoman Empire. Interesting. Oh, Hamburg is a communist power as well. We got someone on their side, the Netherlands. Alright. Well, that is what it is. And Great Britain has a war with Portugal? I guess so. Hold on. What? Is this one of these wars? No, it's that same war with France. Alright, cool. Neat. The Italian Arc. With arrested communists beginning to stream into Russian prisons, figures within the government have suggested deporting non-citizens among them to Italy aboard a chartered cargo ship. Just as the sailing of the Ark that Noah built was a pledge for the preservation of the human race, so the sailing of the Italian Ark is a pledge for the preservation of Russia. A wonderfully poetic suggestion. 2% of pops in Tiflis become more loyalists. Machinist pops in Tiflis will move to Lazio. Or they will serve their sentences on our soil, petit bourgeois, salty. We'll go with the second one. I don't want to donate pops to another country. We are no longer in a truce with Scandinavia, so let's take a look at what. Okay, we can't take a look at conquest options right now immediately, but we'll have more options for that later on. Although I am adding a bunch of infamy here by attacking locations in Africa, so maybe that's not so sharp of me. This is interesting, though. And we have an obligation from Shanxi expiring. We'll go ahead and... relations are fully friendly. I don't need to absolve it. So I won't. Austria is improving relations. I'm going to declare neutrality about this situation in Jabal Shamar. This one in Hamburg, same deal. Don't need to be involved in that. Let's see. And actually, our infamy is pretty low right now. I think it may have gone down, or it might not go up until this war pops off. I could, well, can't sway France anymore, but anyway, it doesn't really matter. Okay, this is French Senegal. Neat. So they actually do have access over here, but that's not my issue. I'd love to steal some chunks of Great Britain over here, but obviously that's a little bit out of my price range at the moment. Just from a an infamy perspective, I'm doing really well on cash, though. I'm actually doing swimmingly on cash. I didn't realize my gold reserve was this low. But obviously that's going to go absolutely sideways once I complete research on steel frame buildings. In fact, I should really prepare for steel frame buildings. Let's go ahead and read the Red Scare event. But first we'll read In the Face of the Revolution. In the face of the revolution, policemen chasing rumors about an alleged planned communist uprising in Altai have stirred significant fear among the area's public. Local skeptics decry the disturbance as terrorism in itself. Not sure I understand, Superintendent. You want us to go into this block in the dead of night while everyone's asleep to raid this warehouse on suspicion that it might be a communist meeting place? That is exactly what I want you to do, Sergeant. Now, might I count on you to carry out this task, or shall I volunteer some men for you? If it doesn't materialize, then we'll have done our jobs. Upper sternum pops more loyal, lower sternum pops more radical, over-policed extra radicals from discrimination, or, there's no reason to believe this is credible, petite bourgeoisie salty. I'm going to go with the first one, because we're doing an anti-communist regime over here. So, let's take a look at the Red Scare. The emergence of a powerful communist regime in a foreign country has aroused fears among certain segments of the population that Russia will be the next to fall to communism. Domestic political currents with left-wing agendas have fallen under scrutiny of anti-communist forces, as they are accused of being harbingers of bloody revolution and agents of foreign powers. Will fail if at least one of these, Russia has enacted a council republic, or any civil war in Russia is a revolution and progress is greater than 75%. If time runs out, triggers the event a subtler terror. So, that's interesting. We're gonna have some, as you can see, the Red Scare causes a bunch of events. It's gonna be an interesting time. Portuguese-Dutch rivalry declared. A bunch of people are trying to invade Great Britain. I think France is gonna win this war. Hey, we got him. Alright, so we have 14 infamy now. So, if I go immediately to Futa Toro, that's 10.4 infamy. On the other hand, if I grab Western Mali from Segou, that's only 7.3. So I think going for Western Mali, let me see, Kabu's 13.5, and then Eastern Mali from Messina is a lot more. So I'm going to need to halt after this either way. But let's take a quick look at our options for conquests in Scandinavia. So, Svealand, this is the capital state of Scandinavia. It's going to be 32.5. Eastern Norway is going to be 11.9. Western Norway, 14. So if I go for some more territory in Norway, I'll need to be a little bit more conservative about it. That said, Åland is still 8.9. Gosh. I don't like having two fronts with Scandinavia, though. It's a little bit awk, to be honest. That said, I think we're going to continue to do conquests in Africa. So let's see. And I think Segou is a better target for now. I'm going to go ahead and conquer the area. And we'll use the same army that we've had here for a while now. And this will give us plenty of territory where we can pursue, I think, rubber growth. Right? These areas support rubber, or they will support rubber? Well, actually, Western Mali has pretty low agricultural capacity, it turns out. Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens. We've got plenty of options. United States aligns with Segou. Now that's really interesting. Still, I don't feel... They do have a very large maximum army size. I don't feel the need to do a whole lot in terms of mobilizing additional forces. In terms of sorry, not mobilizing forces. I'm happy to mobilize forces. I can get France into this, but France wants the Heavenly Kingdom. Absolutely not. That said, we will mobilize our armies to deal with this. And actually, now that I'm thinking about it, there's one other thing I need to do, which is I'm going to need to build more steel mills, because steel is going to get extremely expensive when I flip over to steel frame construction. So steel frame construction is going to add 50 levels of steel. Excuse me, 50 units of steel and 40 units of glass for each construction sector, and I've got 114. So that's like 7,000 steel. It's a lot of steel. We're going to need a lot of steel. Currently we're outputting about 5,000, so we're going to need about, I don't know, another 7,000 basically. Now each level of steel mills that I've got outputs 120, so realistically if I need to output about 7,000-ish more, that's going to be about 60 levels. So let's go ahead and build those. Again, this is the game just acting slow. It's not really moving slow. It's just pretending. It's just pretending. All right. So where can we build up? We've got some good steel infrastructure in Tambov. So we'll add 20 levels there. Got some in Samara. We'll add 10 levels there. You know I've got plenty of labor in Yaroslavl and Tula. So we'll add 10 levels each in those areas. And then I think Kyiv is a good location. So is that 60 or is that 70? That's 60. We'll do 5 more each in Yaroslavl and Tula. And in order to support that, we're going to need some additional railways. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So, to make that happen, we'll put those up top. We'll put the steel mills in next to them. And then finally, we'll queue in everything that we were in the process of building. And then all of this stuff in on top. And that should hopefully get that underway by the time we need to start switching over. It's going to be a process. Right, I was going to mobilize the rest of my armies. Not demobilize. Oh, interesting. Did I already press the button? I already pressed the button. 13th Russian Army can go somewhere else. Alright, so all these armies are in the process of mobilizing now. That has put us at a significant deficit of cash, but not as significant as it could be. Although it's only going to go up over time. Boy howdy, that sure is a lot of steel mills. We've got an event, a good vintage. The wine produced in Dagestan has been lauded by sommeliers as outstanding. When people say that something ages like wine, they don't always make the distinction between wine and wine. So let me make that distinction. If you can get your hands on a bottle from Dagestan, that bottle can be more than just a good time. It can be an investment. I'm going to make this an exclusive product for export for 5% prestige. The other option is extra wine output, but the prestige seems very good to me. Alright, so the question is America able to send forces over here? And I think the answer is no. Messina is not in anyone's block. Kabu is not in anyone's block. And Dutch Senegal is part of the Netherlands block. The Netherlands is... It has its own market, for one thing. It has Bhutan as a protectorate, but it has Hamburg as a dominion. And it does not have any of its own. Alright, alright, alright. So, it'll be good. Has Dahomey finished building out its port yet? Need to get in a little closer to find out. Yes, it has. Alright, so they're no longer isolated from our economy, which means their liberty desire is going down. Wonderful. So, I don't think I need to actually put any more units over here. What kind of navies does America have? America has weaker navies than we do. So, I may be able to naval invade America and achieve some delightful fun times using that strategy. So let's go ahead and throw one of our smaller armies, say the 5th Corps, over in Alaska, and we'll hurl them against California when the time comes. That worked last time. I think it's going to work again. Still, nobody seems interested in getting involved. Again, completely fine with me. I could throw a war goal on here. Let's see. Can I transfer subject? I can get a transfer subject of Liberia. That'd be fun. 2.5 infamy, that's not much. I would love to get Liberia. Let me see. Liberia is a puppet of America. That'd be nice. Give me a little bit more control over the over West Africa. You know what? Let's do it. This might be a huge mistake. I don't think it's going to be a huge mistake, though. I'm not afraid of America. I wonder if Austria just keeps improving relations because I keep damaging our relations with my wars. Let's go ahead and put 1st Corps in Africa just to get them a little bit closer to the action. And we'll grab the Baltic Fleet and put them over here. Baltic Fleet needs another leader. Let's see. Oh, you're very good. Stepan Makarov. An experienced naval commander, an explorer, and an innovator. Absolutely. You're going to get big promotions, Makarov. You're going places, kid. We have an obligation expiring from Shanxi once again. I think that's not again so much as it is still. Oh my gosh. France invaded Great Britain. Beautiful. Just beautiful. Should have thrown a humiliate CB in there, but I didn't. It is what it is. And we'll bring the Grenadier Corps over here as well. And the Black Sea Fleet. We're just gonna... We're just gonna try some chicanery over here once this war gets going. We're just gonna throw ourselves at various American coasts and see how things go. 2 arms. Alright, so, first of all, Baltic Fleet, naval invade, let's go with Maine, using the 1st Corps. This fleet. So the other army that I've got coming up is the Grenadier Corps. You're going to naval invade Florida. Oop. Not that button. This one. Using... Just realized I have 2, but I think it's going to be this one. That's going to be a lot of weeks. And then... 5th Corps is still on its way over. It's going to take some time, and that's fine with us. Force comparison's looking really solid. Let's see what kind of units they've got. They've got line infantry and dragoons. I'm not at all concerned about that. Let's see if we can make these naval invasions happen. Yahya ibn Mustafa has been exiled from Tripolitania. Nice. Alright, and the Pacific Fleet is going to grab 5th Corps and naval invade California. So we're doing 3 naval invasions of America. We'll see how that goes. I think after that, I may have made a small mistake here, as I need someone to invade Liberia with, don't I? Oh, an Athabasca uprising. What an inconvenient time. Alright, so we're going to need the 3rd Coastal Defense Force over here, and going to need the 1st Coastal Defense Force over here. I'm not making the mistake of putting 2 different... of letting them get on one of the sides that I'm not paying attention to here. So let's see if I can... They've actually got a pretty significant force here, but I am winning here despite my blunder. And let's queue in some forces to reinforce once this whole thing kind of kicks off. So we'll station those units in Africa. And we'll grab that unit, and we'll grab the 8th Russian Army. This might be a situation where I needed to invade DC, but who knows? Alright, losing over there, that's not a shocker. There's nobody in California, though, so we might just be able to win this. Do they have war support protection? They do not. And let's see. And we're in California. Alright, beautiful. So that's just fine. So instead of going that way, 8th Russian Army will go to California. And 36th Fleet, Pacific Fleet, rather, will grab the 4th Corps. And I can't invade Liberia because they're already being invaded by one of my subject states. That's very funny. I really hope that doesn't become a problem. Britain's colonizing South Angola. That is what it is. I don't think Liberia has any units, so I'm hoping that their naval invasion kicks off without a problem. What do we got here? Gili. We've got Japan on the side of Gili, and a Gili aristocratic revolt. Alright, well this does not concern Russia, unless... No, they would not become a subject of mine. That's all I need to know. And there's a proletarian revolt kicking off in Finland that I need to actually pay attention to. Because last time there was a war in Finland that I didn't pay attention to, a real problem occurred, friends. Just a real noxious situation that, I gotta tell you, made me big mad. So I'll put 2 armies on there. Alright, we grabbed Western Mali. And now we are in the process of fighting America for America. Hi, are you leaving the front right now? No, you're not. Alright. You just look like you're leaving the front. And making me real nervous doing it. Winning fleet battles there. Winning a land battle here. We got 28% landing progress here. This one we got no landing progress yet, but it's a small army. We'll see how things go. We'll see if we can disperse American forces. They got a huge number of people in Dixie. But, you know, we'll deal. We'll deal with that. This whole situation with the Athabasca I'm feeling a little concerned about. Our allies have got a small army going there, so hopefully we won't lose out that front completely. I would be very upset if that was what happened. I might need to just bite the bullet and station an army over there just to make sure that doesn't happen again. Because, oh boy, would that be a headache if things got silly over there. I'm going to grab the 9th Russian Army and put them in California as well, because I'm getting real nervous about the whole situation in California. I don't know why this army is taking so long to get there. Why these fronts are getting so freaking weird. But they are what they are. Alright, so we got an army over here. Hopefully that'll sort itself out in good time. And we shouldn't have a problem. If we do, I'll need to grab the Pacific Fleet and deal with it. Red Revolution Yellow headlines. Newspapers sympathetic to the interests of the petite bourgeoisie have printed numerous stories about the revolutionary desires of communists in Russia. The articles paint lurid pictures of strikes and planned terrorism. The Red Plague festers. Correspondents from across the world have reported the unnatural stirrings of a thought most foul, that men no longer be entitled to the sweat of his own brow, that many hard-working Italian citizens no longer have natural rights to his property, and that his privacy can be no more than a fleeting desire. This thought is communism, and it is coming for everyone in Russia. Now let's get the situation under control. 2% of the cheap bourgeoisie pops become more loyal, or we can't have a panic on our hands. They get weaker. This adds support for dedicated police force and militarized police force. I've got a dedicated police force already, so this doesn't really impact me. We'll go with the first one. I like loyalists. I'll get loyalists. Everybody loves loyalists. Alright. Cool. Alright. I won the war over there, I guess, by taking this tiny island. Not sure how that works, but it is what it is. There's the Finnish proletarian revolt. We got more armies coming into California. And did this naval invasion just fail? I suppose it must have. Let's go ahead and throw them in Texas now. Wait, what army is this? This is the Grenadier Corps. So we'll throw them in Texas. This one. 2 weeks to Texas. And how are things going over here? We're at 57% landing progress. Feeling good. We got the second corps over here waiting to load into the one in New England. And we got 2 more armies loading into the California front. If we can keep winning over here, then we can keep winning. And that'll be good. So how does this do to the force comparison? Alright, we're good. We're solid. We're looking rad. And there's steel frame construction. So there's an aristocratic revolt in Liberia. I'm trying to get Liberia. This really poses a problem, actually. This is going to put us in a truce with Liberia. But maybe if we can continue to shoot at Americans, they won't be able to support Liberia, and then Liberia will at least be rebelled. That having been said, I'm way over time here. I gotta let the episode. Actually, we're just gonna let it be. We're in October. We got 3 more months of the year, basically, so we'll let it be from there. Friends, I've had fun. I hope you've had fun, and I'll see you on the other side.